What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 6 of Nash Talks. Today we're joined by a good friend of ours, Chris Costello, who Dominic and I have known since, second grade, third grade. So Chris,
Much too long.
Chris is a huge entrepreneur. He's grown many businesses over a short period of time very quickly with a lot of efficiency. So we kind of wanted to pick his brain and tell you guys a little bit of what he does, and he can speak for himself and tell you guys what's worked best for him.
Yeah, so I think to get it started, do you want to tell us about maybe in high school or maybe early college when you got into social media and like how you got into it and just that whole story?
Yeah, absolutely. So pleasure to be here, guys. Nash Talks is pretty dope, representing Sauganash, I'm also from. But so I basically went from not on social media at all, never used Facebook or Instagram or any of that stuff, to being full-fledged. It's basically, if I don't have my phone on me, I feel helpless. And so I basically started not last December, but the December before. So going into my junior year, I'm a senior now. One of my buddies came up to me who I pledged with at Pi Kappa Phi here at Auburn and was like, hey, this guy so-and-so is getting free t-shirts from fitness brands for having a big audience and everything. Why don't we try to grow whatever, just fun side project. So I was like, sweet, I want free t-shirts. Why not? Who doesn't want free gear? So we just started growing it, right? So I came up with the name, Your Daily Dose One, kind of, your daily dose of fitness, motivation, inspiration, whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
Had no idea about the entrepreneurship stuff, right? No idea. Wasn't even a business major at the time, was an engineering major. And so just started growing a fitness page, started recording myself at the gym, soon realized there was no way in hell I was going to be able to record myself working out enough because I don't work out enough to do that and put out good content. So I started getting lazy, and that's really what it was at first. He was lazy and doing motivational and, quote pictures and everything. And that was kind of when that type of content was spiraling. So it went viral a lot. So I started getting really good at them, enjoying it, self-branding, more being motivational to other people. And just through meeting people, realized the amount of power and influence you can have on the internet, not just the internet, but social media specifically, to make a crap ton of money and really grow a big business. And so it went from t-shirts to affiliate marketing to owning my own businesses to doing content creation and everything like that.
Yeah. So for your Instagram page, did you notice it grew really fast, or was it a slow grind? Like, how did you stay consistent with it? Like, how'd you get it to grow so fast?
Yeah, so a lot has changed from when I first started my page compared to now, right? With Instagram and algorithms and everything like that. And there's no secret in telling that, Instagram is making it very, very hard now to grow your page, because just like any business, they want to make money, right? So they are basically making it where it's harder for you to get on the Explore page, get viral, grow your following organically. They want you to pay for ads. They want you to, pay for ads to get sales, to get clicks to your link, get new followers, get engagement. And that was very different from when I first started. When I first started, they probably had like 300, 400 million people, users. Now they have around 800 million, right? So they were more in the growth stage back then. So they were just flooding, your page and everything out there. And so hashtags were really, really big back then. Not as big now, unless you get a ton of engagement to go viral on those hashtags, which we can talk about too. But so I would grow, 300, 400 followers in a day when I had 5,000 followers, and then compared to, it would slowly slow down. But luckily, as you get more and more followers, it becomes, it balances out and you're able to grow faster. But 100%, I was growing really, really fast, posting a lot. That's big because you provide content, higher chance that more people will see your content. But
you were posting like 2 or 3 times a day, right?
So actually at like the peak of my posting, I was posting like 7 to 8 times a day. I was posting.
No way.
Yeah, every 2 to 3 hours. And it's different now, but that before it was because you want, so they started tweaking the algorithm a little bit. So your posts weren't getting seen as much by your followers, so they weren't getting as much engagement. So you had to combat that by posting a ton, right? So that people who weren't on at 7 a.m. but were on at 9 a.m. would see it at 9 a.m. when you posted, etc. So that's why I would post so much. But now it's kind of, You don't want to post as much because you want each post to get a ton of engagement so that you have that chance of going on the Explorer page and getting seen by millions of people, which is really the key now to organic growth.
So you would say it's more of a quality over quantity thing now as Instagram has grown?
So it's always quality, 100%, right? Because a lot of people will grow their Instagrams for the purpose of getting brand deals or being an influencer or just being, I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, I'm so cool. Maybe they want to pick up chicks with their following,
Right.
But if you get a brand deal, no free plugs, but let's just say you get a brand deal from blank, and they say, we want you to promote this product on your Instagram. And so you promote it, right? They pay you $100 or $1,000, whatever, and you get no sales for them. Their ROI is zero. You're not going to get another brand deal from them, right? So that's why, it's always quality over quantity, because you could get more sales for that brand with 5,000 followers if they're, interested in what you're doing and invested, as compared to if you had 100,000 people who don't give a crap about what you're doing, right? So, But then again, if you have 100,000 quality people, that's lethal, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key. And so, there's a ton of ways to grow now with, DM groups and, follow groups and everything, but that's not really bringing targeted, organic, and interested traffic to your page. So, you'll grow faster, but you won't see the ROI that you would if you were to grow, at this point now, slowly running ads and everything.
So did you notice that when you got to like your peak of like say around 100,000 followers, were you getting a lot of people to click on your like links or your affiliate program, stuff that was making you money? Were you able to bring in that traffic?
Yeah, so Instagram was basically the first way I started making money. And so at the point of 100,000 followers, I was getting probably around 100 link in bio clicks a day. I capture emails, maybe around like 20, 30, 40 emails. And then, what you were seeing too is that would continuously keep growing, right? And I would get, 70, 80 link in bio clicks, maybe around 30, 40 direct messages, some from people pitching me stuff, some asking for shout out, wanting shout outs and stuff like that. So it was super, super lucrative. And, the amount of people that you meet, you get to network with is unbelievable, right? I still talk to people who I grew my pages with from, when I started at 1,000 and they did as well, that, we're business partners today and we're, killing it today. So I think people underestimate, that even if someone doesn't make you money or doesn't buy your stuff, but they have a big page or, they have this ambition that that they're, some people think that they're just a lost cause. You don't need to connect with them because they're not going to give you that monetary value, but your network is your net worth, right? When you hear that saying, but 100%, network with as many people as possible, whether they're going to buy from you or not, because you never know how that's going to help you in the future,
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Speaking of networking, since you had to go through all that and there's a lot of work for you personally, how many people in the end from business to business would you say that you hired or you had help you out? Was it difficult teaching people that weren't you to do what you're doing, for instance, sleepless nights, teaching people how to do exactly what you're doing in the right way, keeping the quality the same, making sure that whoever's handling it the way that you would want them to handle it, stuff like that?
Yeah, so probably one of the hardest parts, and you wouldn't think so, throughout the, growth of my page and, the increase in business and everything and interest from people was creating content, right? And so even though I'm only, making quote pics, that's what I was doing, right? I don't do that anymore. It would become so time consuming, especially so often while, because it's easy at first when you're not trying to make any money, right? And that's what I suggest with people too, is you have to play the long game, right? Don't try to make money right away. It's all about growing your brand and growing your network and everything. So, up until 30,000 followers, I wasn't trying to make money at all. I did some stuff, I did shout outs, but I was basically just worried about growing my page and everything like that. So creating content was fine, talking to people daily. But once you start transitioning into trying to make money and everything like that, it gets harder to create content as far as Instagram goes, because you're talking to people all day, right? So I was at the point where I'd wake up in the morning to basically when I went to bed at night, messaging people on Instagram, trying to get them, to get on a call with me, stuff like that. So it became really grueling and time consuming to create content. So I started reaching out to people who, could do freelance work and help create content for me. Couldn't find anyone good. You need to make sure you're putting out the best content and everything.
Right.
But that was one part where I did want to hire someone, couldn't find anyone. I really do a lot of this stuff myself. And I don't know if it's, a matter of like, I don't trust anyone that can do it the same, or it's just not big enough yet. Some of my businesses, we have employees, we have, other co-founders and everything, but my personal brand, I don't have anyone right now that I pay or, pay regularly or hire or anything regularly to do stuff for me, right? I'll hire editors, I'll hire, content creators and stuff like that, but it's not on a regular basis. But eventually, hopefully, as I become bigger and everything like that, hopefully more people on board, absolutely.
Yeah.
A lot of the people who I talk to are people who are independent contractors or affiliates of my business who I then don't have. Now I don't have to play the role of recruiter. Now I play the role, or salesman. Now I play the role of coach, right? And so I help them go out and make money. And I think, through my time doing that in less than a year, maybe like 9 months, I've helped maybe 900 to 1,000 people make money online to where they're profiting each month, right? Which is how I gauge my success as well.
Yeah, I think you said something really important there, was that if you're going to create content on whatever platform that may be, you should do it for the right reasons, in that you shouldn't go into it immediately thinking, I need to make money off of this. You should go into it thinking, like, this is something I want to do. Like for Alexi and I know we're having a lot of fun making these podcasts. We're thinking down the line of like potential ways we could monetize, but we're also just doing it for fun. Like, I think that's a main key point to address, is that you should do things because you want to do them, not because solely you might be able to make some money off of it.
I think one mistake that we had earlier, maybe not a mistake, but a learning pain that we had, was through the fitness game. We would put stuff out there every day, film each other, working out, bench pressing, have Theo come and film us at the gym and stuff. And a lot of it was like, I can't wait to get sponsored. I can't wait for this. I can't wait, for money to flow in. And then we moved to podcasting after the fitness thing had really not gone very well. And our initial thought was, okay, let's not try to emulate Barstool. Let's not try to emulate anybody else. Let's do it. Let's have fun. And if people enjoy it, it's just a huge bonus. It's just an added benefit of this. So what we're seeing now is that people are slowly starting to gain interest, which is great, because our initial goal was always just, let's have fun with this. Let's bring on our friends. Let's bring on Chris. Let's bring on Daniel, and so on and so forth. Just have fun with each other.
Yeah, I think it really helps with longevity. Like, you're going to burn out if you don't like what you're doing. Like, that's the main thing. Like, you can do something that you don't like doing you don't like doing, and you can make money off of it, but you probably aren't going to do that for more than like a year,
Right, and you're not going to do as well at it if you don't enjoy what you're doing, And just two examples, right? So I was watching a TED Talk the other day, and one of the guys was saying, the big thing with kids our age and people our age is there's just no patience anymore, right? Because we get, we want to find out an answer to our question. What do? We instantly are able to find it on Google, right? We want to anything, right? We want to contact someone, we just text them, instantly reply. It's just so amazing now that we have everything at our fingertips. And that is, it kind of hurts us as well, where, you start at a corporate job, let's say at the bottom of the ladder, but you don't have the patience now to move to the top and wait all that time. And so that's why, our generation is among the top in quitting their first job so fast. Because they aren't happy where they're at and stuff like that, but they quit within a year, right? You're not giving yourself the time to get through it, right? And I don't know what's going to happen as far as corporate job, whatever. I'm hoping just run my business full time when I graduate, but you got 100%. You have to be patient, because everyone, there's always going to be competition, right? And if you're not patient, you're trying to monetize too fast and everything. Someone who is patient is going to blow you out of the water playing the long game. Gary Vaynerchuk did his wine library TV stuff for 5 years on YouTube, got like 1,000 views a video, and now he owns $100 million a year company, gets millions of views everywhere. So it's just amazing, what can happen. I never thought when I first started, right, I was hoping I would get free t-shirts, right? Yep. I never thought that's what would come from, right? And if I, wasn't patient, not making any money for 5-6 months into this, I wouldn't be at the point where I'm at right now. So 100% long game over short game. Because you can make, let's say you make $1,000 a month for 5 months. Sweet, that's $5,000 in the grand scheme of things. Or you can wait 10 months and then you're making $5,000 a month, right? It's a long game type thing, right? You got to play.
Yeah, as soon as you said patience, I was immediately thinking of Gary Vaynerchuk. I know you are a big Gary fan. Do you completely agree with everything Gary believes in, and like maybe other social media personas like Ty Lopez and stuff? Like, what is your thoughts on like other people trying to help people promote, like bring up their business, I guess you could say?
Yeah, so I love how Gary basically does, and like Gary's making money because he's making money off AdSense and everything, but not like actually promoting anything to his audience, like, oh, buy my book, or, well, he does his book, right? But he's not like, oh, buy my course or buy my product, That's what I like, right? Free value is the most lucrative value, right? Because you're going to gain people's trust, and no one's going to buy from someone they don't trust, right? So it's so important to gain people's trust, and then using that to share value and, show an opportunity, and people will be more receptive to that. Ty Lopez is a great marketer, right? He's done great things. I don't follow him as much as Gary. Even Ty Lopez is on every YouTube video I watch. It's an ad of him. He's got, the way he does things is genius, right? But I don't follow him as much, right? He definitely knows what he's doing. Same with Gary, both very, very smart guys. But yeah, I don't follow Ty as much as I do Gary, but yeah, they're both killing it.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big Gary fan. Ty I'm not gonna like put too much thought into, just because I'm not trying to buy his program and whatever, but I think he is a genius when it comes to how he marketed himself in terms of YouTube ads. Like, he puts so much money into YouTube ads, but that probably brought him so many like leads. It's crazy. Like, it's insane what he was doing with that. But if you could go, oh my bad, go.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Another thing too, guys, is like, so you'll see, if you see a Ty Lopez, advertisement, right, and he's talking about his house and everything like that, right? You gotta remember, right? So Ty Lopez makes a crap ton of money, but it's not only him paying for that house, right? His entire team lives, right? And so a lot of people, you're going to see these big influencers living in these mansions, but don't think it's just that one person paying for it, right?
They're not living alone.
Exactly.
Right.
It's basically, them and their team. So you're paying, $10,000 a month for this mansion in rent, but there's 10 people living there. It's really only $1,000 a piece, right? So it's important to think about that when you're looking at, the analytics of, within that. So, someone could be like, oh, look at this mansion, blah, 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 and using attractive marketing, which I kind of hate in some way. But they're not really making that much. They might be, but they're not making as much as they make it seem because they're not paying for it themselves. You know what I mean? So
sure,
it's always important to look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a quick water break if you guys don't mind.
Okay.